Was this Nintendo Switch update like causing issues for people?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough. Maybe I won't update my Switch.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of Two Brothers Gaming Podcast. This is episode 167 here with Ryland.
Yep, we're actually live right now on Kick,
Yeah.
which is
And
we
YouTube.
haven't been live in around a year or so, so
Yeah.
it's kind of
First live episode in a while.
yeah, it's been a little while, just a little bit.
Since episode 80 and 81, I think.
That's crazy. It's been that long. But make sure to join our Discord. I know you guys don't like our Discord. Make sure to join it and stuff like that. You know, talk to you guys about mainly whatever. If we're
Anything.
interested in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, go ahead and join our Discord. I'm trying to make a community, but you guys don't want to join.
They don't care.
Join our Discord. But
All
I'm gonna
right.
get started.
Yep. Our first topic of the day is Nintendo Switch Update 20.0.0 as released.
So, I heard this update's washed.
I mean, it added a lot of cool stuff, like the game key cards and crap, but it broke a lot of stuff too that people don't like.
Yeah, what I have here, I think it's just all the stuff like that it messed up. Well, maybe I'll check in here. But after downloading the recent Nintendo Switch update, some players are reporting that their console is now crashing and experiencing various issues. It's been an interesting month for Nintendo as the initial wave of the Nintendo Switch 2 excitement was followed by backlash of the increased prices of its games, upgrades, and accessories. People also were complaining about the console itself, but that's the basic console price. No, that's not going to be like how 360 was, $200 or so. It's not going to be that cheap. It's going to be obviously up there with the PS5 and stuff.
It's still cheaper than PS5.
I know. It's the same price as the PS5 Slim. So it's the same. It has like about the same power, or maybe more than the PS5 Slim.
It's going to be better.
Oh yeah, portable. Take it anywhere. It's not the PlayStation Portal.
Yeah, that thing's trash.
Washed.
PlayStation Portal.
Yeah, sucks. But it says here, however, the fan frustration didn't seem to impact the demand or pre-order process as the Switch 2 quickly sold out across the board. It sold out quicker than Nintendo even expected. So they don't even have enough consoles yet to, obviously give to people.
Yeah,
so people are going to have to wait.
They don't have enough supply for the demand.
People are trying to like boycott it apparently, but that's not going to happen.
No.
Like people tried to like boycott McDonald's and stuff too.
Not gonna happen.
That's not exactly. People are dumb. But it says here, this week though, Nintendo released a major Switch update providing a major feature in advance of the next console release. While the update added plenty of quality life features like online license settings, the arrival of Nintendo's game share functionality, and user verification settings. Well, this update also added a system transfer option for players to easily send their data from the system to the Nintendo Switch 2. That's pretty neat. So you don't have to, restart, I guess. Actually, kind of transfer your data.
Yeah.
I mean, you can kind of do that with the Xbox, but not like fully. Like certain games and stuff like that. Obviously, you can put your profile on your new Xbox, but
right.
I'm guessing this actually puts all your stuff, like your screenshots, your games, your profile, everything, just everything.
Yeah, it'll transfer your save files. Like if you have Breath of the Wild playing it on your Switch and you get the Switch 2 edition, it'll transfer your save file over.
That's awesome. But it says here also, where was I at? In addition, players can also upload their data to a dedicated server for those who plan to lose access to their system prior of getting the Nintendo Switch 2. So if you're gonna like sell your Switch or whatever for the Nintendo Switch 2 to get money for it, there's a server just for that to upload their data, so then they can get it back. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But you're not going to lose your stuff. You're not going to lose anything. That's if you do it. If you transfer your data to the
Right.
server, but if you don't, then you're out of luck. I don't know why you would. If you're going to sell it, then you should obviously transfer your data to that. But it says here, after downloading the latest Switch update, there have been some players that are reporting their Switch is now crashing. Essentially, there are players who have started seeing error code 2206-1015. Following the update through, it isn't yet known how wide-reaching the issue actually is. Thankfully, none of the reports have indicated any seriously major issues, such as lost data or console failures. That would suck for either of those to happen.
Yeah.
Imagine like your Switch getting like the red ring of death. That would be rough.
Yeah,
Just like just completely failing, you couldn't even turn it on. That would suck. But it says here, regardless, fans seem to be largely frustrated with the game's consistent crashing and everything like that. It says here, game sharing becoming slightly more difficult than it has been before as well.
Yeah, and so
Forgot about the
before
feature.
before this update, you could share games, and so like say Cole, he has Ark Survival that me and him played together on. I've never bought it. He bought it. So you can make it to where his profile is my Switch is his primary Switch
I remember.
or whatever.
I think we
So I
tried to
could
do
play it
that.
without buying it, and then we can both play. Me and him both can play together with one copy that's bought. Now Nintendo made it to where you can't do that with this update.
I think we tried it for 2K23, but it wouldn't work because of that. Because they
Yeah.
fixed it or whatever.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo wants you to buy the game.
Now you can't do that. The people were
Yeah.
upset about that. And now like the game share says compatible software can be shared from a Nintendo Switch 2 system or nearby systems to play together. You can only play together via local wireless, and Nintendo Switch 2 system must initiate game share. This feature cannot be used between two Nintendo Switch OLED model and or Nintendo Switch Lite systems. So the game share, you can play with regular Nintendo Switches, but a Nintendo Switch 2 has to initiate the game share, and it has to be local wireless. You can't do it so me and you right now play the same game with only one of us purchasing it. We have to be in the same room together on the same Wi-Fi and be part of the same, I believe it's the same Nintendo Switch Online family.
Oh, so you literally have to be like in the same house.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. Like local wireless.
Yeah. But it says here Nintendo is investigating the Switch crashing issues. The reports have seemingly been loud enough to gain the attention of Nintendo. On social media, Nintendo confirmed that it has received inquiries for some customers about the error code following the recent, Switch update. Unfortunately, Nintendo wasn't able to provide a resolution to the system crashing, but they're obviously going to be working on it and they're going to fix it eventually.
Yeah.
It'll take a little bit of time. I mean, they're not going to do it like Snap,
No, it's only 20.0.0.
Yeah,
wait for 20.0.1.
Yeah, it'll take some time. Take some time to do that crap. But it says here the company did apologize for the inconvenience and asked for players to wait for further information, even with the potential for issues. The update itself has seemingly been a hit with players. One of the bigger additions, as I said, was the Nintendo Virtual Game Card feature, which turns digital game DLC and free software into virtual game cards. that are now displayed within the menu for easier access. So how's that work? Nintendo has previously outlined these cards can be loaded onto a second Switch system, as well as lent to other consoles within the same Nintendo family account or group.
Yeah.
So how's that work exactly?
So you got to buy a digital copy of the game, obviously.
Yeah.
And then you can share it with somebody within your Nintendo Switch Online family through a virtual game card. So like you can eject it from your Switch and then send it to somebody else for them to play. But as far as I understand, I could be wrong, but as far as I understand, you can't play it at the same time because only one person can play it at a time when you're a Nintendo Switch Online family. So if, say I bought say I got Breath of the Wild. I got Breath of the Wild, you don't have it. But I bought it digitally. Say I'm playing it and you're like, "Hey, Ashton, can I play Breath of the Wild?" And I gotta eject it from my Switch virtually and then send it to you virtually so you can play it. So while you're playing it, I can't play it. So you play it for an hour and I'm like, "Hey, Rylan, I wanna play Breath of the Wild again." So then you gotta eject it from yours, send it back to me. So it's good that you don't have to buy the game twice, or you say I don't have to buy the game, and say I buy the game and you don't have to buy the game. We can both play it, but only one of us can play it at a time.
Yeah.
And you got to buy it digitally, which I don't like to buy digital games.
Yeah, so it's kind of meh.
So it doesn't really apply to us because we like physical games.
Yeah, but you people who actually like, you don't care, then you can do it.
Like I know Colin was really excited for this because that way I can share games with him, but I buy them physically, so I really can't.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Like, if you're gonna be in the same household or whatever, then you just get the card.
Yeah, and it'd be cool if they done it through physical too. Say you buy the physical version, and then you can send the virtual version over to one of your friends, but while they're playing the digital version, you can't play that physical version or whatever. They could do the same thing, just with me being able to buy the physical game instead.
Yeah.
But right now, it's only digital. You have to buy the digital version.
Heck yeah.
Right.
But yeah, that's all for that. There's not really much to it.
Okay. We'll go ahead and move on. You can go ahead and read this one. I usually read the middle one now, but I'll read the last one. So, Nintendo releases a Switch 2 magazine to celebrate the Switch 2's launch.
Okay, so it says here to celebrate the up and coming launch to the long-awaited Nintendo Switch 2. The Toyota-based company has said it is set to distribute a digital and physical version of the Nintendo magazine in Japan, which is centered around the console. It is not clear if Nintendo plans to do the same thing here in the West or in the United States or anything like that. But it says here the content. Yeah, there should be nice to have.
Mm-hmm.
But the contents of the magazine will be similar to the one given away to fans at the Nintendo Switch 2 Experience event. So it's going to be kind of like the same magazine, I guess, that they gave away then.
Yeah.
Should have went.
Should have. What's this one? Was New York, I think?
Yeah. Close enough. But the digital version of the Nintendo magazine special issue featuring the Nintendo Switch 2 will be released on Nintendo's website soon, and also will begin being shipped to retailers nationwide around May 9th. So in 8 days, they're going to ship it to retailers nationwide. The content will, be roughly equivalent to the special issue being distributed at the Nintendo Switch 2 Experience event currently being held. But That's all. Just that. It's literally like 2 cents.
Yeah, so basically there's going to be a digital version and a physical version of this magazine, but as of right now it's only in Japan. I definitely would get one if they released it over here in the West. And even maybe I'll buy one off of eBay. Yeah, it's going to be in Japanese, but I can translate it and read it.
Yeah.
But we can move on to our last topic.
I shouldn't have gonna read this one.
Yeah. As if everybody knows, GameCube, or you should know if you've been listening to us since the beginning, the GameCube is my favorite console of all time. And I so always mention something new that comes out for it. So GameCube Wavebird receiver alternate has been released. So, and this is long, by the way, so just listen. An open source implementation of the Nintendo Wavebird protocol using Silicon Labs wireless Gecko SoCs. The Wavebird controller is, in this guy that made it, his opinion, one of the best controllers ever made. And I second that because I think GameCube controller is the most comfortable controller ever. And then the Switch Pro controller is right behind it. But anyway, it goes on to say that it is wireless, it has an insane battery life, and is very comfortable to hold. The Wavebird set a new standard for wireless controllers. It was the first major console controller to use radio frequency technology, providing a reliable, lag-free connection that didn't require line of sight, unlike infrared controllers. Unfortunately, Nintendo stopped producing the Wavebird more than a decade ago, causing the dwindling supply of controllers and especially receivers. Given the decreasing supply of receivers and the increasing resale prices, this guy decided to see if he could design his own from scratch. The hardware for a reference Wave Phoenix receiver is available in the hardware/menu receiver directory on GitHub. The receiver is designed to be as cheap as possible and easy to build. So, for those of you that don't know, the Wavebird controller is the first reliable wireless controller ever made, and it was for the GameCube. And how it worked is you plugged a receiver into the GameCube itself, and then you had the Wavebird controller. So right now, for
Kinda
the
like,
past few years,
those gaming headsets now.
yeah,
You just plug in a little thing, then bam.
yeah. So as of right now, for the past several years, the controller itself is you can get it pretty cheap, but the receivers, more people lose their receivers than they do their controllers because they're smaller. So the receiver is where the money comes into play and it's expensive. So this is finally an alternative for that receiver that works with the Wavebird. But the only thing is you have to build it yourself out of a PCB and a 3D printed case. But now that this is out there, people will start building these and then selling them online. So just keep a lookout for that if you want to buy one. I know as of right now, like the PCBs and everything is $5, but with people making them themselves, price is going to go up from there. So I don't know what the price is going to be for people reselling them, but as of right now, just the PCB, if you want to buy one yourself, is $5, and then you got to 3D print a case by itself. I would make one, but I don't have a 3D printer. So
Yeah, you get one.
need to. But yeah, I just thought that was cool because I like anything to do with the GameCube, and then also it's going to be awesome to have an alternate uh, way to use the Wavebird if you don't have a receiver that came with it. Because as of right now, I have 3 Wavebird controllers and 3 receivers. I need one more receiver and controller to make a full set. But I just haven't bought it yet. But that is all the topics we have, guys. We appreciate you for listening, and thank you for those of you that are watching us or listening to us live.
Yep.
And remember, You can always watch us live on Kick and YouTube, and follow all of our other podcast socials, our Twitch, Discord, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that crap. Buy our merch on TeePublic. Rylan, do you have anything?
Just as I said, follow our socials, personal socials, just all that junk, and join our Discord also. I know you guys hate our Discord, but make sure to join it. And that's about it.
And don't forget, guys, if you want to listen to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, that'll help us get our ads back from our podcasting hosts so we can make better quality podcast episodes for you guys. But other than that, we'll catch you next week.